You're listening to Head Vomit. The following episode contains crude, rude, and often offensive content that may feel dirty in your ears. If you're concerned about your ears, please choose carefully when and even if to listen. This podcast is ad-libbed. If you are seeking a libbed podcast, look elsewhere. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the creators. Ankhead, come in. Anchorhead, if you're reading us, we're in the Antarctic, somewhere north of radio mast 7. This is Bob Crispin and Stephen Blaine here. We're recording this broadcast in the hopes that someone comes and rescues us. We're a couple of expats. It's been 12 years now, and like I say, we're looking to be rescued, really, if possible. So if anyone's getting this broadcast, please.
If anyone is listening,
yeah, please come.
Please come.
If anyone's hearing this, just come and get us, all right?
Why did you come?
Well, I was having a bit of a hard time of it in London.
Yeah.
In Croydon, I used to live, and I just thought, fucking hell, this place is a shithole. So I thought, fuck Croydon. I'd recently seen the movie The Thing, and I saw the tundra in that, and I thought, fucking hell. Only later, after I got here, did I find out it was filmed in fucking Canada. But I went all the way to the North Pole, and I thought I'm going to make a new life for myself. And I didn't have a family.
I was just fed up of the pressures of modern life. Everyone's on Facebook now. I can't handle my phone beeping every 5 minutes with my mate saying, sending me an emoji, and I thought, I don't want this no more. So I saw on a poster the Arctic tundra, there was an igloo, and I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna go.
You left your family?
I left my family, yeah, I just went.
So how have you been finding it here then? I mean, thank God. What's the chances of two geezers from London both moving to the same Arctic colony? Have they accepted you then? Because I've still got some bad blood with mine.
I've got a long way to go.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to gain their trust.
Well, I mean, the last time they saw a European, 90% of their people died out through infectious diseases.
Missionaries, wasn't it, when they came in?
Yeah. I used to be, of course, my second name is Crispin, but now they call me Bob Whiteskin.
Oh, do they?
Most of the time, they just call me Whiteskin.
How do you get to the North Pole?
I mean, you think, with the conveniences of modern air travel, that you could just take a plane there or something, but actually what happens is a combination of transport, isn't it?
You've got to get all kinds, and you've got to work your way onto it.
Everyone says, globalisation, but it's still bloody hard to get to the North Pole.
It's truly hard.
Go on, and how'd you get there?
So basically, I managed to get a flight all the way to the northern tip of Alaska. So I found then a small fishing vessel that was making its way to the North Pole. And I said, any chance of me coming on board, lads?
You're not a fisherman.
I had no money at all.
Right.
I'd emptied my bank to get a flight to northern Alaska. So I worked my way around. I worked the strip joints. The fishing boat, unfortunately, said no. I saw a little vessel, and it was a geographical scouting patrol, I think.
One of them survey vehicles.
Yeah, run by the government of the Americas. And they looked at me, and they just thought, who's this whack job? They said, yeah. So I got on board, and then obviously they were having a laugh. I was ridiculed heavily on the boat after the mutiny. And
did anyone go overboard then?
People went overboard. People were diced up into fish food. Turns out that my nickname came from me having to give the members of the boats give all pleasure. From the 12-man crew we started, 3 people got there, and I was one of them. Sup boy Steve. I got there. Geographical research team went and told the tribal chief my nickname.
Right.
So it stuck, didn't it?
Bastards. So you decided to make a new life for yourself here.
Yeah.
How long into it was it before you realised, hang on a minute, this isn't very nice?
About 2 weeks in.
Right. Because for me it was about a day. I thought it was I don't know if you ever done time or not, but as soon as you get in that jail cell, you're like, hang on a minute, something's not right here. I regret this. I regret what I did to get here. See, I took a boat just like you.
Yeah.
But fortunately, there was no mutiny. And I had a little bit of money in my bank. So I just bribed my way onto the ship. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If you've got money, you can get away with stuff in this life. Didn't have to give any kind of sexual services. It got to the North Pole without incident mainly. But then, once I was in the North Pole, I realised, and once I saw the boat leaving, shrinking off into the distance, and I realised, you know, what have I done? I was getting a bit peckish as well. I looked round and I thought, you know what I could really do with a decent portion of fish and chips? And it was fuck all, mate. Fuck all. I tell you, I was looking around, I was like, oh, sure, there's plenty of fish, but they're under the fucking ice, aren't they? They're under the fucking ice.
And so, how long did it take you to fucking realise how to fish?
I still can't do it, mate. I'm completely dependent on my tribal elders. And I'll tell you, it's not fun because those guys make you work for it. I built 60 igloos in the first week. It's basically slave labour. I mean, let's be honest. I was building igloos and they would give me fish.
Did they ever slap you with the fish?
Slapping with the fish is, I think they only do it to foreigners.
Anytime a foreigner comes onto your blade of ice,
you must be slapped with a fish.
Yeah.
It was bad for me because usually you get like a North Atlantic salmon or something. But that week, it was the in season.
Oh,
and they fucking hit me with a tuna. Do you know how big a fucking tuna is? I thought it was a little fucking fish. Turns out tuna are fucking huge. They're bigger than a man. It took 6 tribal elders to fucking hurl that thing, and its face hit me right in the face. And I fucking tell you, mate, I was unconscious for 3 hours. I woke up in the ice and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
After you have been slapped with a fish, they do lighten up. They lighten up on you. Because it's kind of like you've done that, you've gone through it.
Yeah, it's sort of a way of them welcoming you into their...
it's not a nice way of being welcomed. I'd rather a formal handshake.
I mean, who lives in a place where you have to survive by catching fish out the fucking sea?
Out of a small hole, you dig in the ice.
And if you don't do that, you fucking die. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? But I'd rather go around the corner to the Mackie D's, go to McDonald's, get a fucking cheeseburger, and then fill my gut that way. We've known each other only for a couple of years now, and we've been doing these broadcasts. But we never really talk much about like what you do for entertainment, because you know it is hard. We come from heavily westernised societies where we're watching TV, we got the internet all the time, we got, you know, hot tea and drinks anytime you want. We got all these fucking things. You know, I just want to know what you've picked up as a recreational hobby in this harsh environment.
Well, there's not much to do here, really, is there? Not much at all.
Fuck all, really, yeah.
Nothing,
fuck all. Nothing. White all around.
I do try and go to as many of the traditional Inuit gatherings as I can. There's not much to do, but you do get a bit of drumming, a bit of dancing. The chief does a bit of it. He gets his pipe out and he passes it around. Quiet evening, I'd say I just carve some ivory or bone or something.
Oh, you do the ivory carving?
Yeah.
Do you?
Do you do
that?
Yeah.
No, I don't carve myself, but I do various other recreational activities. So, you know, they would carve these beautiful masks. And recently I did Michael Jackson and I did Winston Churchill. It was supposed to be the fucking Churchill car insurance dog, but it actually ended up looking more like Winston Churchill. So I did that, and the kids would love them, you know, they'd put them on and they'd run around like dressed up as little city gents and little Winston Churchills and stuff, and you know, they'd love it. And then we played football and stuff. You know, we made it, like I say, we made a football out of a seal's head. So wait a sec, why did you fucking come here? I mean, I can't talk obviously because we're both fucking morons. We came here, you know, but why did you come here? Like, what reasons?
I looked at that poster. It just looked like everything I want and more. I wanted broaden horizons, mate.
Well, fucking hell, I hope they feel broad. It doesn't get much broader than this, does it? I'm looking across the broad fucking horizon right now. I can't see fucking anything. Well, I found it weird that they had so many drugs up here.
They've got booze on demand.
I saw a geezer with a Domino's the other day. I was like, Domino's don't deliver out here, do they? And he was like, yeah, but...
He probably had to come here every 2 weeks and place his order. And then nowhere to be.
Maybe he's got a number for him. Actually, we should look at that.
Who is it though?
Tito.
You're not going to get anything from him.
Why not? Do you know him? Where do you know Tito from? You haven't sucked him off, have you? Oh, bloody hell. Well, you know, maybe that's an in. Maybe for another number, for a Domino's number, he might...
He didn't like it.
Because, I mean, fuck it, we're desperate, right?
But he's a chieftain. He's a chieftain, Bob.
Doesn't matter.
Do you know how hard it is to even get an audience with the chieftain? You've got to stand at the top of a totem pole for 6 straight hours.
Look,
on a major holiday.
Okay. Look, I'm friendly with my chieftain, all right?
If you can put word in, because I really don't
I'll put a
wanna
word
go down
in,
again.
and he'll talk to your chieftain, hopefully, in the great gathering. All we got to do is wait that 6 months.
Mate, I don't know if I can wait 6 weeks, let alone 6 months.
What's your option, mate? Die in the fucking ice?
Oh, I guess I'll give it a go.
No question about that. John Morosi's with us on Steve Gorman Sports. Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger. I mean, baseball, sometimes they just...
I don't know about you, but I came here primarily because of Brexit. The pound was getting weaker, and I thought, you know what? I'd probably be better off in a medieval bartering society. I thought it'd be cheaper over here, you know? The price of stuff, the cost of goods. I mean, I thought it'd be cheaper to buy a fish out here, right? Turns out you don't even buy them. You have to fucking catch them yourself, which is cheaper on your bank account, but it doesn't matter because you can't earn any money or spend any money, so it doesn't matter if you have a bank account or not. There's just absolutely no fucking money involved in anything at all. And I'm sitting there like expecting to pay for a fish, and he's like, no, you got to go out and catch it.
Money's not really a thing here, is it? Tell me about your first big whale hunt, because surely you've done one.
Well, I've done 2. And I've got to say, my status in the tribe has been elevated. I gave myself 2 luxury items, right, to bring here, right? One was knuckle dusters. I thought, I'm going to need to chop things up here because, like, I don't know who needs a punch. Right, so first thing was I took them to the whale. I think I was so angry at being stranded out in the tundra, so fucking hungry that I thought, right, this is really my chance to step up. I was just going to go and eat the meat like a fucking simpleton.
I've seen a man build a bicycle out of a whale.
I've seen a man build his house out of a whale's rib cage.
Jesus Christ. Where's that in?
It's just north of what's that place called? Kintook.
Oh, Kintook, yeah.
Yeah, just north of Kintook.
Yeah.
And the guy who did it was oh fucking hell. I used to call him Bill Nye because he looked like an Inuit version of Bill Nye.
I know the geezer.
You know him?
I think he goes by Old Man Chimes.
That's it. Old Man Chimes, because he hung the fucking chimes out the skeleton. That's what he did.
Yeah. If you're passing through Kintook, you can hear the chimes. It's ghostly. What do you think of the Inuit people then?
They're lovely, and that's the thing. You know, as you were saying before, broadening your horizons. I mean, fucking hell. You know, most people from Britain never really travel and experience the world, and I think, like, you know, until you do, it's really hard for you to get different perspectives on different cultures. And I didn't know what to expect from Inuits. I'd never met one before. There's certainly none in Peckham. You know, the hardest thing for me really was the language because, as you know, I speak Cockney. That's all I speak. So I don't speak Inuit at all. So I would largely communicate with hand gestures to start with, and obviously with my knuckle dusters. And they understood.
It gets you a long way, doesn't it?
It gets you a long way, the threat of violence. I'm not proud of it. And since then, I have warmed to a lot of the people here. But when I first came, I did have to knock a few people out.
As much as I want to go home, I can't bear of leaving my Inuit wife. She's just got something that Martha didn't have.
Right.
And I think it's just a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Martha was just on the phone looking at Instagram.
So you're married now?
Yeah, we're married.
What, and you still...
I mean, I don't know if Martha thinks I'm coming home or not.
I think she's moved on, mate. If she hasn't, then that's fucking dark of you to do that to her.
I told her I was coming back.
You told her you were coming back?
I said I was just getting away for a bit.
And 12 years later you haven't returned? Fucking hell, mate. Yeah, I mean, let's not kid around. Like, we both want to really get out of here. But going back to the people, like, I wouldn't say all of them are really nice. Like, some of them do harbour grudges from the foreign encroachment of their lands, of their, yeah.
Tito, I'm telling you, there's no getting through to him.
But the thing is, though, right, with guys like that, you kind of respect where they're coming from. What would we think, right? If there was, like, if the Inuits had invaded England, right, wiped out 90% of our people, and then suddenly they were coming over here as tourists, trying to eat our fish and chips, our blubber, and, you know, there would be some people who wouldn't like that, who wouldn't look too kindly on it. So, you know, it's that kind of stuff, getting perspectives on other peoples of the world, that I really value in this kind of travelling.
Oh, definitely.
Don't get me wrong, I'd leave tomorrow if there was a ship. Living out here, first 5 years are always the hardest. And before you get used to being able to catch fish and fend for yourself, and you're really cold and you can't talk to anyone because you don't speak the language, and some people, there's a lot of animosity towards you because you're an outsider. Barry Whiteeast, he died, I think he was out here for 2 years.
2 years is a long time in this.
2 years is a long time, especially the first 2 years as well.
Especially when the sun never really sets.
No, it's tough. He died on his first whale hunt, I think.
He got harpooned, didn't he?
He did, but it wasn't like he didn't ask for it. I always thought the problem is with Barry, right? He brought England with him.
And I think a lot of expats do that when they should be going to this new culture and trying to immerse themselves into that culture and the language and the traditions and the folklore and the rites of passage and the employment and the sports and the religion and the social problems and the crafts and hobbies and the recreational stuff.
Because he never took it seriously, that was his problem.
He was always joking, wasn't
he? Was like, whale hunt, yeah, all right, mate. And then when he was actually on the boat, he was like, holy fuck, I'm in a fucking whale hunt. And he just couldn't adapt. And I think, like, you know, he did get a wife and kids in those 2 years.
Yeah. He's got spoiled.
Who I see every so often.
Yeah,
I kind of look after them, you know, just because he was a mate, you know.
Yeah, well, you got him, yeah.
You got to look out for
Take him under your wing.
And plus they get a bit of flack as well because they're half white. So, you know, the locals don't look at them the same. It's awful, but it's true. But the thing is, like, you know, he was reckless, and he shouldn't have been reckless because he had a wife and child, a baby on the way, and to go out on a whale hunt and call the leader of the hunt a Cockney slob merchant.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, the master of the hunt obviously didn't know what that meant, but he knew the tone of the man's voice. The Inuit, they have a good sense of humour about a lot of things.
They do.
But one of them isn't insulting the whale hunt leader, the chieftain.
And he's the only one with a harpoon gun. We're throwing spears. He's got an harpoon gun, which he's made himself, crafted out of real tiny little whale bones that come from the ears of the whales.
Right.
And then he's made like a trigger motion.
The whales have ears? I thought it was sonar or something. You know, even if we could call that, I mean, who are you going to call? Obviously, your wife doesn't care anymore.
No.
She probably thinks you're dead.
Well, she might think I'm sunning it up in, like, Las Palmas or something.
Right.
And then I've got to explain why I'm in the fucking Arctic tundra. How am I going to do that?
Well, I guess you could say something like, you know, listen, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Come and pick us up. I'm in the North Pole.
Here are
like,
the coordinates.
She could call up the police. They could be like, oh, yeah, we'll go get him. And then someone might come to get you.
I feel like this might be our best avenue then to get out of here.
I think it's better than broadcasting random signals that we don't know if anyone's picking up.
Well, it hasn't worked, has it?
It hasn't worked in 10 years, no.
You get the odd icebreaker that comes through, but they're not sticking around.
I was once on a phone to a gentleman who worked for the oil companies. I said, look, I'm on this radio frequency, don't cut me off, you know. I'm in an Inuit village, and he thought I was fucking having a joke. And I said, no, seriously, mate, I've been fucking killing and eating whales for the last 10 years, like, come and get me, you know, just fucking come and get me. And he said, no, mate, it's beyond my powers. He said, look, I'm working on these oil rigs, it's been fun talking to you, you know, you're an entertaining bloke, but at the end of the day, realistically, there's nothing I can do. And then he just hung up, and I thought, you know, what a bastard, because he knows I'm in trouble, but because of his station in life and his situation, he couldn't say, oh yeah, Matt, I've got this guy in Alaska. I mean, come on, be real. How much is one Cockney worth to the world? They're not going to send a fucking fleet up here just to get us, are they?
No.
That's why I think our best hope is to get Tito's phone, and then Tito will probably want to give me the phone, not you, because he probably might not trust you.
He doesn't trust me. You obviously go off to your village.
Yeah.
I go off to mine.
Yeah.
It's a 3-day trek to see each other.
It's not like we would socialise but because we've been together for 10 years, knowing each other, I consider you my best friend. But I know you're a terrible person. So, like, you know, if we were ever to get out of here, probably wouldn't want to see you again. But yeah, I think what we've been able to build here, little expat community, then maybe there'll be enough of our community, we'll create a subculture inside the Inuit culture. It'll be like Inuit Cockney. When there's enough of us, we'll either break off and form another tribe or make the long walk south.
Well, there is that fear that if we do go back, could we reintegrate into modern society again?
I think it'd be weird now, for me, not constantly having a cold and eating whale meat every day. Like, if I suddenly changed my diet now...
Yeah, if you went home and had McDonald's...
I'd probably die. Maybe one of the chieftains has got some sort of internet dial-up device.
I
know it's out here. It's
the
kind
weird
of
thing is, I see him on his phone posing for these things that he calls selfies.
Right.
And he's doing that, and he's got his igloo behind him.
What do you mean posing?
And you take a picture of yourself. He said it's a selfie.
Picture with a phone?
Yeah.
It's got a camera, what, on top of the phone or something?
Yeah. He's got it in the palm of his... And then it plays music and everything.
Fuck off. You're telling me that the Inuits have got better technology than we're aware of, and somehow they're broadcasting and sending pictures of themselves and being all on the internet, and we're stuck here trying to make FM bloody broadcasts for 10 years? We should try and put our stuff on the internet then, in case anyone comes across it and hears it and then wants to try and rescue us. We're just north of the Arctic Plane.
Getting ready for the long winter.
But we're going to anchor down, but we're near Northern Conch in a radio station number 7.
Give the coordinates.
005 9789. And just make sure that you bring enough stuff to get back, because you don't want to be stuck here like we are.
Knuckle dusters.
Knuckle dusters are essential, and I would say just don't give any sexual favours, because it does stick with you, that kind of reputation.
So in 3 months'
you should have
time,
punched away on me.
If you're not coming with me, I'm going to get some dogs together. I'm going to get a sled.
Right.
I'm going to put some tennis rackets on my shoes, and I'm going to South Pole.
Right.
Are you coming with me?
South Pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, fuck it. Right, so yeah, thanks for that.
Signing off.
And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
This is Bob and Steve signing out, over and out.